Hi guys. Well, it's day 8 of the Patrick Freze's trial, and there was a few more witnesses today. They say the trial is moving well ahead of schedule. Both parties say they expect to be ready for closing arguments on Friday. They continue to speed through the witnesses. We've heard from several of Kelsey's co-workers at DOS Aviation. They testified she never showed signs of having issues with alcohol and drugs. Also said she loved being a mother and caring for her daughter. An HR employee for DOS Aviation testified Frazee was listed as the beneficiary of Kelsey's life insurance. Guys, life insurance. And he damn well knew he was listed. Yeah, he's listed. She said Kelsey filed paperwork to go from full-time to part-time in November 2018, which is why she was losing health insurance for her and her daughter. She wasn't going to be working the required hours. We also heard briefly from now CBI agent Chris Adams, who says they didn't find anything in the Midway landfill search. About a month ago, he says he learned Everest steel and a silver trash can became more relevant from the burn on Frazee's property. He didn't elaborate anymore on that one. A CBI briefly testified, because you know these witnesses are just coming on just to answer a couple of questions, and they're on and off the stand, about her preparation of the DNA kit of swabs taken from Kelsey's home. It seems like we'll hear some of those results later this afternoon. The judge said he and both teams of attorneys, both parties are meeting off the record in his chambers to discuss an upcoming witness. Ooh, they have to go in the chambers. I wonder if that's Mama Frazee. Mama Frazee? He also provided a courtesy advisory to Frazee about his rights to testify if he chooses to. So he's been advised by the judge that he has the right to testify. So that's a little bit what went on this morning on the 13th of November 2019. Also, back in testimony on Tuesday, a customer of Patrick Freze's horseshoeing business told jurors on Tuesday that the Florissant rancher, Patrick, made an unusual comment that his fiancée, Kelsey Berreth, would never reappear after she was reported missing in December. And also Margaret Luce testified that Frazee visited her home on December the 20th, more than 2 weeks after Kelsey disappeared. to trim her horse's hooves. They talked about Also, a customer of Patrick Frazie's horseshoeing business, he had a horseshoeing business, that's right, told the jurors on Tuesday that Patrick, the rancher in Florissant, made an unusual comment that his fiancée Kelsey Berreth would never reappear after she was reported missing in December. Margaret Luce testified that Frazee visited her home in December the 20th, more than 2 weeks after Kelsey disappeared, to trim her horse's hooves. They talked about, situations of what may have happened, so they were talking about Kelsey, and she's probably the one that brought it up. And Luce said she made a comment that Kelsey could come back, and he said, "Oh, she is never coming back." Luce testified to that. Margaret, she testified to that. And they carry on, and they get into the nitty-gritty details of the evidence. And like I said, this Friday they are expected to be finishing up, and the case is running smoothly and on time, and probably ahead of time. Witnesses have been testifying, the evidence has been collected, and all those kind of things. There was 13 witnesses that testified on Tuesday. Law enforcement, the burnt areas, the phones, the fire pit, on Frazie's ranch, Ness Ranch, KK's home, and the guy that Patrick thought would be his alibi for the day, his whereabouts. And so he left a trail. He left a trail for people to testify where he went, but CCT cameras that were around the neighborhoods, wherever he went, were capturing him, even at Kelsey's home. So why did he get one of his best friends that this man thinks of him as his son and put him right in the middle of it all as well? So it's backfired on him, hasn't it? Because they had to testify for the state. And Margaret Luce, the horseshoeing customer, also told the jurors that Patrick Frazee, in the fall of 2018, told her that he wanted to raise Kaylee, her daughter, Kelsey's daughter. He and Kelsey, 1-year-old, with someone besides Kelsey Berreth. Oh yeah, that's what she told him. He said he just wants her gone so we can raise Kaylee with someone else, Luce said. Yeah, Luce is Margaret Luce. And we know because of the statement that were made earlier in the testimony that Patrick said to KK, "You're going to have to do this and you're going to have to do that. Here's my key to my safe. Here's, the key to my business, my paperwork. And you will have to take Kelly. You will have to take Kaylee." Yeah. He was going to use KK to take care of his kid or something. So he too was looking for another mother. You see, he just wanted it all. He just couldn't stand the thought that he had to share that he had to share. And he probably wasn't the greatest father. But we know he's not. Look at what we're hearing, what we've seen for evidence. There's no evidence that Kelsey was a bad mother. She was even going to go part-time so she could spend more time with her daughter. And we know why. We know why. These reasons she was taking action was because of the going to court. She knew she didn't want Patrick around her like this. I don't even know what her reasons were, but obviously she wanted to take more time to take care of her daughter, so her daughter didn't have to go with Fraze to the middle of nowhere in the fields and sit there in a stroller or a playpen and watch him hoof horses and take care of the donkeys and take care of the cattle and all those kind of things through the winter months, the cold weather. Yeah, well, that's no place for a baby to be full time. Do you know what I mean? And when it's your job, you can't do a job and worry about a child running around. You can't. They get in all kinds of things. And she's not going to be a baby for long. She's going to want to get up and run and look at things and get into mischief, like they do. And so this gives the jury another potential motive to consider, especially the life insurance. He was the beneficiary through her life insurance. Now I hope they put a hold on that one, and because now I don't know if you can change it to anybody else or you just don't get it at all. And so that's how that goes. And so it's going to be down to the financial situation as well. And with his loan he took out, he's in debt. I don't know if he hasn't paid it for a long time or what the situation is on that. And so this will play a big role in the jury's decision. And, well, it's just another motive. And a crime scene analyst of Colorado Bureau of Investigations walked the jury through evidence found at Kelsey's home. And so they did that. And another expert explained to the jury what happens to a human body when it is burnt. Jerry Means, chief fire investigator for Adams County Fire Rescue, testified that the burnt plastic residue found on Fraze's ranch next to a spot of oily dirt was consistent with a body being burnt inside a plastic tote, like Kenny told investigators. He said if it's burned long enough at a high enough temperature, a human body liquefies and can leave behind oily substances. Yeah, we know that. Yeah. Decomposition, decomposed liquids coming out of the body. And, use your imagination. And however, Means also said, that is Jerry Means, also said that motor oil could leave a similar stain. And he had no way telling the substance darkened the soil of Fraze's ranch. Kenny told investigators that Fraze poured motor oil on the fire for accelerant. In the cross, and Jerry Means, Fraze's defense attorney Adam, asked whether Jerry or any other investigators recovered the metal clips from the burn area. The black tote that investigators believe Fraze used to transport Berreth's body, that is Kelsey's body, contained multiple large metal pieces. Jerry said. He didn't. Other testimony included on Tuesday, Robert Slagle, that is a friend of Patrick Frazee. Some people from Idaho, Kelsey's friends, and they just went on about the cellular phone, like I said in earlier videos, about the nurses that worked with her in the hospital. They were on the stand on Tuesday also, and they testified about how she was after Thanksgiving, how she was at Christmas, and her demeanor. She's not so happy as she usually is. And Allison Wright spoke on about the December the 26th, that she got mixed up and she had to do what she had to do for her safety and her children. Well, we know that's a crap of you-know-what, on the bloody grass. And we know that the phone business, we're learning that there was a few phones being used, and not one burner phone, but now there's 2 burner phones plus her own phone. And didn't she say something about her broken phone? She had to get another phone, so there's the 4th phone. And when were the burner phones used? So there's a lot of in between that her regular phone was used, but in between that, we don't know what was said and what was done in between that, because now KK's got 2 burner phones. Now, if she's got burner phones, we know that probably Patrick Frazee had a burner phone. He's probably had a burner phone too. So these gaps in time where they said they never spoke, or around those weeks, the months, the weeks leading, the days leading up to Kelsey's disappearance, never to be seen again, vanished off the face of the earth, were probably using burner phones. And she said 2 burner phones. So probably one of them burner phones was probably Patrick Frazee's. Now, that's what I'm saying. That's my opinion. And it's looking more like that's what happened. So they probably were in communication a hell of a lot more than they're saying. And we don't know if Patrick's going to testify. He's been advised of his rights by the judge today. And with all this evidence against him, piling up against him, will he have to take the stand? Will he have to take the stand? Now, I'm thinking, yes. I'm thinking he doesn't have to. And what can he say? What can he say? The prosecutors, the state, the DA is going to have a field day with him. They're going to have a field day with him. If he gets on the stand, what can he say? Dispute every one of these witnesses that testified to the conversations that they had months ago, even a year ago before that, and weeks and days up to, and even on the day, to what he was doing, what he was saying, where he was going. And so, what do you think, guys? What do you think? Yeah. I don't know if he's gonna take the stand now. There's nothing he can say unless the defense has a bombshell, unless they come up with this hit woman, and she suddenly appears in the court. Now, they said they're going into the court's chambers today to discuss a witness that is coming onto the stand. Whether they are coming, whether they're allowed to come, are they trying not to let this person come on the stand, or they're trying to get her to get to the stand, him or her? Is this the bombshell that we've been waiting for? Is this the person of interest that committed alleged murder? Yes, guys. Now we're going to wait for this bombshell. We're going to wait for this bombshell that the judge and the attorneys are discussing in the chambers, guys. What do you think it is? What do you think it is? The hitman? The Mama Fraise? We don't know. But we're going to find out anytime soon, guys. Stay tuned for more updates.